Guys, if you haven't already, make sure to follow the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It helps us more than you could imagine.
Anyways, we're moving on to the next stage of the podcast. Guess what it is, Chip?
Relationship advice?
No, it's life advice today,
Whoa!
baby. Come on.
You already know. Ding, 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 ding.
Got a fella. His name?
His name is Peter.
Oh my gosh, Peter's had a howler here. Oh no, Peter hasn't a howler, but he got a tough one here. My pal is choosing to see his missus for the final and not come out with the lads.
That is fucking awful.
That is disgraceful. I'm sorry. No. I'm being genuinely serious with this. Assuming your mate, your pal, is an actual football fan and is genuinely interested in football, there should be no reason why you don't spend the entire day with your friends who also absolutely love football to come together for one of the greatest moments.
And also, if the lady in this relationship
actually
is
is
the one pushing for him to be with her over the fucking final, sack her off.
100%.
Because she should understand the love for football and the fact that England have only made it to the Euro finals.
First time since 66.
Well, this is the first final since 66. We've never even been in a Euro final.
Facts. Here we go. Next up, another fella. Right? There's a lot of fellas here. They're really tuned in. He's saying... What's his name first? We need a name.
His name is Carl.
Carl. Carl says, I want to go into a career within finance, investment banking specifically, and it requires lots of my time to learn everything this summer, though, to around February, and that's when internships and things like that open in the world of investment banking jobs. In the world of investment banking jobs, they come primarily through internships.
Yep.
The big decision I face is I have to spend a lot of my time doing a lot of prep for these internships and sometimes have to sack off time with my mate. None who have any sort of desire for a career in the future. Is it worth to keep going and strive towards a career, even though it means I won't spend any much time with my friends? This guy's written it weird, so it's doing my fucking head in here.
But I think I know what he's saying. He's saying, does he prioritize going
career
for this
or the friends? That's what he wants to know.
Well, it'd be good if you could somehow get a balance. And I feel like
you have to find the balance.
I feel like no matter you're making it sound like an ultimatum where you only have one choice here. Yeah. You can really pursue this and break through and be good at it and have a good career. Yeah, and you can still see them. It's complete cap if you're saying you can't. You can take. If it's even one day out of every fortnight where you just go dedicated for fucking 4 hours, even just go for half a day and with the mates, that's enough.
That's fine. That is, and
they should respect
in investment banking.
Yeah, they should respect it.
In investment banking, when you actually do get the job and you get the internship, I promise you, then you'll truly understand what having no life is. The people that are involved in that, you genuinely won't have a choice.
You're looking at
you won't have a balance.
12-hour work days and
but
shit,
it's
man. It's
fucked. You are done for,
like
fella.
the friends that we have that have worked in those kind of industries, those kind of Canary Wharf jobs, we'll call them. It's not a fun life, but it's a lot of money. But it ain't a fun life.
Yeah. So I mean, look, if that's what you want to do, first of all, understand what's involved in it. I know a lot of people.
Good luck, fella.
Yeah, that's all we'll say.
You, but I'm sure you'll make the bread and you'll have a good life.
Here we go. All right, we got another one. This one's from a fella named
Samuel.
All right, this guy's actually a very similar one. He says, one thing I struggle with is finding balance between work, studying, and gym. And just sort of going out on the booze. Essentially, I find it hard to say no when people ask me to come out. I do sometimes, but I always get roasted for being boring by my mates. So just wonder if you guys have any advice for juggling, grinding, and having fun. This is an interesting one.
There's this book that I read that Reeve put me on. It's something about the Stoics. I can't remember the exact title, and one of the main excerpts from the book was about saying no.
Yeah.
You are in control of like your whole life. You say no because you got shit to do. You got stuff to do, and you shouldn't really care about what anybody else says because that's not you controlling your own life. You're letting your life be dictated and controlled by others' thoughts about you. Yeah. Do you want that? Yeah. No. If you don't want to go out, are you really gonna go out just because like one don thinks you're boring? Yeah. That is such a shit way to live, isn't it? Yeah. Like if you got shit to do, get the fucking shit done and just not go out. You can go out next weekend. Just say, I'll be out next weekend. And I'll get my shit done tonight.
And trust me, I've been there because I've been to the point where I ended up having the balance the other way, and I always wanted to go out. My mates wouldn't necessarily call me boring. I was calling the other people boring. So it's one of those things where it's like you have to find that balance, and the hardest part is actually saying no. And then maybe you go on Instagram and you see that all your mates are having a fucking class all the time, and you're there like, oh yeah, but I'm stuck inside. But you have to understand the choice that you made doesn't necessarily have a direct benefit to you in the now, but over time, all that time that you said no to things, all that time you decided to miss out on that party, you'll be worth it now. It is super important, again, like we said, to have that balance. If you find yourself saying no all the time and you don't get to see your friends very often, that's going to take a really bad, sort of have a really negative impact on your mental health. And because we've spoken about it a lot of time on this podcast about how this whole grinding mentality is actually extremely fucking toxic and a load of shit. So do keep that in mind. And, if your mates are calling you boring for going out, that's just because your mates are fucking sour that they're not getting up to anything interesting. But, yeah, man, just you find the balance. And the way you find that is get the shit done that you want to do. And then also plan ahead. So you say on Saturday or on Sunday, or maybe it's a Tuesday, I'm going to dedicate this day to doing something with my friends.
100%.
And you do it in advance. You sort it out in advance.
No, you're right. Like the mentality that I always see, again, back to TikTok, but I always see TikToks from like older people, and it's always like, if I had advice and I could give it to myself in my 20s and now I'm in my 30s, it would be enjoy yourself. Yeah. So like you said there, it is good to absolutely grind your fucking tits off. But at the same time, it's all about the balance, because if you can't miss your 20s, man, you can't. Yeah. But you do also want to achieve. And that's life's biggest problem in the end. Because 20s is the point where you're becoming an adult. You got to try and actually achieve your goals. But at the same time, you're still super young, so you want to be going out and getting absolutely twatted at a festival.
Yeah, man. Go fucking get twatted at a festival.
So do it, but at the same time, just try and find a balance. Don't become a complete bum. Yeah. Do work. But just find a balance.
Yes, for sure. Because let me tell you, bro.
And everyone's balance is different as well, by the way, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. But you and me both been through it. It's like there's times where you go out and you're out all the time, and let me tell you, I wouldn't change those for the fucking world.
Never.
What was I popping on YouTube? Was I super productive when it came to work? No. I was at an all-time low in terms of productivity. But let me tell you,
views are down, all that kind of shit. But at the same time, you're just thinking, I've got the money in the bank, I'm chilling, I can come back and. Yeah, you're having a sick time, but at the same time, your career is dwindling a little bit. Yeah. But then, if you understand the whole balancing, you come back and you realize, fuck, okay,
you'll get a hold of it.
I can still go out, but you know what? Fuck, I need to be working a bit. Yeah, I need to be working on weekdays, and the weekend I'll go out, just like how it is on a 9 to 5. But you always need to be doing that extra bit.
Yeah, it's true, man. For sure. All right, the next one we've got. Now, this one's a little bit of life/relationship, actually. This one's an interesting one. This one's from a Felita. Her name is
Francesca.
Francesca said, should I buy a flat with my boyfriend after being official for 7 months? No, that's a fucking horrific idea. That's a
really bad idea. Rent a flat maybe if you want. Rent it for a year, whatever.
Even then, I would say moving in with someone.
That's early doors, bro.
I'd say you got to give it a year and then you move in with someone. Also, here's a great one. And I know this is easier said than done.
But to be fair, are they buying? Does she already live in this flat?
I mean, she says buy a flat, bro. It sounds like did
they live at home or do they live...
I don't know, but they just want to buy a flat. It doesn't matter. Even if you're official for 7 months, chances are she's not living with them.
Don't do it. No, don't do that.
No, I think that's a big L. One thing that I would highly recommend doing, and even if it's just a weekend away at like a cottage somewhere, is go and stay a weekend away. And the best way to find out whether you really get along and like someone is spend a prolonged period of time with them. And like, even if you just spend them like 3, 4, 5 days, the longer the better, obviously, on like a little holiday like this, but you'll find out what they're truly like. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So because you'll find out all the little habits that annoy you, all the little things. And what tends to happen, and it's happened before, is like you spend a bit of time, you're actually like, fuck, this poison's actually fucking jarring.
I always have a little check. One thing that I will do is, so if I've got, some like, you got the missus staying around for a bit, but it's early doors, I'll whack on the PlayStation, won't say anything, we'll just be chilling. Maybe it's like she's staying with for a week or something, right? Mm-hmm. third day and fourth day, and I'll whack on the PlayStation at maybe like 7 p.m. and I'll load up, like recently been playing Last of Us 2. I'm nearly close to finishing it. I'll whack it up and just start playing it. And I'll see if anything's said to me, like turn it off or anything. If I get told to turn the console off, it's lights out.
It's done.
Because you need to be able to enjoy yourself and have your own time. Okay, if you're going to be living together in a prolonged period, you need to be able to do whatever, you know. If I want to turn on a PlayStation on a fucking Thursday at 6 p.m. and play it just after dinner, I should be completely allowed to do that. That's my downtime. I'm chilling. I want to play. I want to be immersed in a story and relax. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do as well. Yeah. If you want to go and turn on a PlayStation, that's cool. Yeah. Maybe we'll fucking play together. Yeah. But like, I think that's super important because I always hear about, you always hear the stories about how the missus gone to sleep and the boy's getting on. Yeah. Boys getting on Warzone with it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like if the Donny wants to play Warzone, cool. If the missus wants to watch Love Island or play Warzone as well, like that's how a relationship works good. Yeah. Okay, if you're gonna miss around and you want to play a game, I think it should be allowed. Yeah. But like there's that culture where it's like when the missus is over, you're not allowed to play. And you get I don't get that. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, 100%. Especially for us, our lives have been, mate. We come up virgin gamers. Yeah, exactly. Yo, we stayed loyal to our virgin gaming. I was on Virgin Internet as a virgin gaming. Gaming, bro. All right, our next one is another Felita, and her name is. Her name, okay, wait for it. Yeah, I've got one. Her name is, I'm trying to think of something really nice. Tracy. Wow, Tracy says, I'm 18 at the end of the year and want my own space, but don't know how I would cope being on my own. Is it a good idea to move out? P.S. Love you both. Watch the fellas religiously. Reload that. Yeah. I'm 18 at the end of the year and want my own space. She wants to live by herself. Yeah. But don't know how I would cope being on my own. You'll be fine. It is a bit like, you know what? I tell you what, when I first moved out, it was amazing. Yeah. It was so, like, because you spent 18 years in your parents' house, and I'm sure it's a nice experience, whatever, you know. Parents are normally, for the most part, you have a good time. People. Sometimes not the case, but hopefully in this case it is. You move out, and you just step into that new flat. Your parents are probably even helping you move your shit. Yeah. And the second they leave, and they're like, right, I love you. I see you soon. Hope you come back and visit soon. Yeah. The second that happens and the doors close, bang, it's closed. You fucking pull out the weed. You light it up. You're fucking living. No, but what I'm saying is you're free. Yeah, you are genuinely free, and that it's like, what you said, it's a liberating feeling. Yeah, and you grow up quickly. You literally are like shit. And the morning you wake up the day after that, it is beautiful. The best wake up you'll ever have. Because you've got new bed sheets, right? Because your parents just bought you new sheets for your new flat. It has to. And you've woken up, hopefully in a new city. Yeah. I remember the first time I moved out, I woke up. Or even the same city. And mine was Stratford, man. Really? But I've gone from Oldham in Manchester, shithole, to Stratford, which is not the greatest place, but I've gone to a nice flat in Stratford. Yeah. I've woken up and the sun's shining through. I can hear the noise of buses and the trains because I'm outside Westfield in Stratford. Yeah. And I look You're making Westfield Stratford sound like a romantic paradise right now. But to me, bro, at the time, I couldn't believe it. I walked into my living room and I look out and I see all the people going to work. I'm like, this is amazing. And I was the only person living in this 3-bedroom little flat at the time because Ali and Tobias, I don't think had moved in. No, they hadn't yet. And it was I still think about that feeling sometimes. That first wake up I ever had was amazing. It was so good that I started drinking water only from that moment on. Really? I was like, I'm changing my life. I'm drinking water only because I used to drink so much Coke as a kid. And I moved out at like 20. I started just drinking bottles of water and I ordered a fucking 24-pack. Did that in like 3 days and I was like, wow, I don't need Coke. I even quit the caffeine. It was amazing. Really? Yo, that's wild. But seriously, like moving out by yourself, it does sound scary. But honestly, it's it's also great. You'll find that you'll grow up so quickly moving Progression, out. Man. I do think, I don't understand it's more and more difficult now for people to actually move out in terms of financially because it's more and more expensive to go and rent places or whatever, get on the property market. So it is difficult, but I think it's one of the best things you do. And like you said, you grow up a lot
and you also take on a lot of responsibility. And for me, I loved it. I was used to sort of moving around and changing places, but when I lived by myself, I was there like, this is fucking live. Like, I loved it as well. And yeah, you just get your own freedom. You don't have to worry about annoying anyone else, like your parents, whatever. But at the same time, you know, you have more responsibility, and so it just makes you feel like more of an adult, and you just take that next step in life, really, I think, moving out.
No, yeah, 100%. I fucking send it. I'd send it.